Senator Warnock, you're recognized to ask your questions.
Thank you so much, Chair Warren, for organizing this conversation for child care and equitable post-pandemic economy. Even before the coronavirus pandemic, child care industry faced unique challenges. Child care was unaffordable for many families. At the same time, child care workers were underpaid. In 2020, child care work ranked among the bottom 2% by salary before the pandemic, with educators, with all of their training, making just over $12 an hour. In Georgia, workers in unsubsidized centers earned an average of $10.14 an hour. People were taking care of our children and educating them. These challenges disproportionately affect women, particularly Black and brown women who make up the bulk of the child care workforce. During the pandemic, child care providers faced record low enrollment, forcing providers to reduce costs by paying even lower wages or laying off the staff. Ms. Graves, can you talk about the importance of paying early educators who are educating our children during that critical time of brain development a livable wage, and the impact that this will have on our ability to fill these critical jobs with well-qualified people?
So thank you, Senator Warnock, for that question. I think it's one of our nation's travesties, the wages that child care workers are paid. And what it means is that we are fixing the problem of child care by basically making a largely Black and brown women workforce bear the brunt and the cost of it. The solution really is to pay them parity to what we already pay elementary kindergarten teachers. So we already know and have an understanding of what it looks like to pay them fairly. And we're all hurting from it. It's not just those the workers and their families. We are all hurting from it because it means that that workforce is less stable. And as there is a surge of people trying to return to work and needing more child care, they are struggling to have enough workers who are willing to work there for poverty wages when there may be an opportunity to work for a few dollars an hour more somewhere else.
Right, right. And Ms. Ingo, in your experience as an unsubsidized child care provider, what would federal investments in child care do for your center? How would that improve the service you offer to children, the kind of talent you're able to attract, and the support you can provide for these families?
Thank you so much. Childcare is very important in our community. What I am looking at is, what is childcare? It may be if we understand the job we do, the job I do as a childcare provider, we will be able to look at the remuneration and see and ask ourselves the question, is that remuneration up to what we do, what we offer? As a family childcare provider, I am I'm constructing the brains of kids, just like infrastructure. We build. So every single day, what are we doing? We are building the brains of early kids, trying to make sure that by the time they become of age, they are ready. What do? We support them as they grow. We support their physical development. We support their creative development. We support their cognitive development. We support their social and emotional development. We are building the foundation for the kids that will be here tomorrow to run our nation. We are building the foundation for our nation. If we fail to build this foundation correctly, what are we going to produce? We are going to produce leaders that are not capable of doing the job tomorrow. So it's like I indicated earlier, if we have funding, we will be able to do our job properly. What are we going to do? We will be able to provide them with quality education. We will be able to help them understand the things that they need to do at this age. I watch kids that are between the ages of 6 weeks up to the ages of 10. This time, I have a child that is 18 months old. This fall within the critical period of building the child's brain. If I fail to do what I need to do, sometimes because of lack of resources or because the parents cannot bring the kids to my daycare consistently because this week they cannot afford to pay their out-of-pocket resources, what happens? That child gets services that are not sustainable. It doesn't help the child, it doesn't help me, it doesn't help our economy. If government subsidize family child care program, if they remunerate us for our skills, they remunerate us for our time, they remunerate us for all the things that we do. We do not only watch the kids, we also listen to their parents, what they struggle with. If the government can subsidize our programs, we will be able to continuously providing quality education for these young brains.
Thank you, Ms. Ingo. I don't mean to interrupt, but I'm 1 minute over, and I'm going to beg the chair for one more minute. You mentioned the economy, and I'd like to ask Dr. Stevenson, because I hail from the state of Georgia where the average family pays 60% of their income to cover the cost of childcare for 2 children. I have 2 children, 2 small preschool children, so I can think about the impact that must have on families, 60% of their income to cover the cost of 2 children. Dr. Stevenson, if Congress invested what it should in high-quality child care, how could this actually benefit the broader economy, even for folks who don't have children? I think when people hear subsidies, they think of this as some kind of government giveaway, but is there an argument to be made for how this would actually strengthen the economy?
Thank you for that question. Absolutely, because government subsidies for childcare will allow more families to afford high quality early childhood education, which is exactly what you just heard about, how it builds brains and it makes children more productive as adults. Research has taken a look at why so few kids get access to high quality childcare. There are a lot of different arrangements out there, but what drives people's choices? It's what they can afford. There's research that has found that the childcare market's quality problems reflect not parents' desire, but their ability to afford it. That parents would spend more if they could. And in fact, that's exactly what we see. High-income parents are spending more. They spend a lot on early childhood education, on childcare, and investing in their children. And that's creating an inequality in adulthood that then is exacerbated and grows and grows. So what we need, if we want an economy that can compete on a level playing field, that can get the most out of all of our unique individuals' talents, we need to invest in all our children equally. And that's why subsidizing early childhood education will accomplish that by making sure that more children's, the parents and the families of more children can afford the high quality investments that you've been hearing about.
Thank you so much, and thank you, Madam Chair.